Hello again, I'm Chirag, and in this video let's take a deep dive into SharePoint list column types. So in my previous video I discussed about list column types, list view, list forms and list settings. Let's see in this video few of the column types. So for this demo I have created this employees list here with just one column. Now I already have discussed about single line of text columns and multiple lines of text columns, right? So use the single line of text column where you want the user to enter random single line of text data: first name, last name, address, job title, work phone. Multiple lines of text use where you want users to feed multiple lines of text data: job descriptions, email body, comments, etc. So let's take a look. So in this list, I'm renaming the title column to employee ID, unique ID of the employee, and enforce the unique value here. Click OK. Now let's create a new column. First name required, OK. Again, last name, single line of text, required, OK. Email, single line of text, required, click OK. And then create another one called job description. This time choose multiple lines of text. Here you see here we have the rich text here, and then click OK. So we have created quite a few single line of text and multiple lines of text here. Let's see how you can add choice column types. So in choice column types, use the choice column types where you want users to select from available choices while entering list data, like gender, name, prefix, suffix, category, topic. So let's add one choice column type here called gender, and then here you can say it should contain an information. So user must select the value male, female. Now let's keep it the display of this field as drop down menu, and let's not allow users to fill in the choices for them. And here the default should be blank. So once you add that, you go to employees and you add a new item. You can see here you can like EID 001, let's say Ross Tyler at contoso.com as email. Some of the job description like sales representative, and then you can see here the drop down. So SharePoint shows the drop down based on what selection you made in the column setting. Click save. Now let's change the display mode of the gender, and this time instead of drop down I'm selecting the radio buttons. So go to the employee, select this record, edit item, and now you can see SharePoint automatically displays radio buttons. Okay. So now for choice value, let's say I want to allow users to select multiple items from the available choices. So let's see how that works. For that, I'm actually adding a new column. Let's say hobbies, choice, you can say art, sports, computer, computer gaming, and here this time choice value, I'm deliberately right now choosing not to allow fill in choice, and then you can say by default there should be, we are selecting one default value here. So when I go to employees table and selecting edit item, I can select multiple choices here now. Okay, so again, if I want to show you how the allow fill in choices option works, go to hobbies here and then click yes, click OK, and see what happens. So what will happen is, now when user is adding a new record or modifying the existing one, they have now ability to also specify their own value. Okay, you can see here art, sports, and traveling. So this is how you use choice columns. Now few important thing to remember about using choice column is use the choice column when the number of total choices are fixed, okay, and less than 10. So because the list will grow and grow if you have more than 10 items, and it will not look, it's not manageable. So the recommended approach is always use choice column when you have more than when you have less than 10 items. And also keep in mind that your choices is not frequently actually changing in future. So some of the actually few important points here. Now let's take a look into number and currency column types. So for that, I'm again adding a new column called department ID, and this time I'm choosing the number column. Yes, it is required, and minimum number should be 1 and maximum number should be 20. So because I know that in my organization the total number of departments will not exceed more than 20, so I'm enforcing the minimum and maximum values for this. Automatic select 0 because it's a department ID, you don't want decimal places to appear, and then click OK. Let's create another column, this time salary, and then choose currency. Now this time so should be like salary per annum, and yes, it is required. So minimum is 20,000 and maximum you can leave it the maximum as it is. No number of decimal places, and then since it's a currency, you can have United States as format. If you want some other format, you can also you choose from this vast number of choices. So let's just take a default value here as setting, click OK, and then we have now 2 columns. So let's see what happens. So again, I'm selecting this and going here, edit item. Now I can put like number 1, department number 1, salary is 45,000, let's say, and click OK. So here you can see that the salary, when you choose US format, it actually shows you the $sign here. So that's another thing that SharePoint understands, what salary configuration you actually, what salary, what currency setting you choose for the column. Now, so but here one problem I see here is the department ID 1, right? So there is no useful information about the department ID. Now, so how do you solve this problem? So you have 2 things. Either you put a choice column for department and put all the department names as a choices, but let's say you have more than 10 departments in your organization. So the problem is, again, back to that, it's not recommended to have choice field in that scenario. So there is one option, it's called lookup columns. So that means you can create a lookup column here. So before even doing that, I am deleting the department ID column as a number. So let's delete this column. Okay, and then you go to create column and choose lookup column instead. Now when you just select the lookup column, see the column settings here, and you have says get information from, and you see all the list available at your current site, and you can actually create a lookup into those other lists. So in order to use the lookup column, you need to again create a list, another list. So add an app, create a custom list called departments, click create. So now you have a departments and you have title by default. So let's go here and select list and say title and say department name and click OK. Okay, let's add some department into this one. So sales, save, and one purchase, marketing, and HR. Okay, so here is I have 4 departments I have added. So now we have a list. Now we can create a lookup column into employees list. So go to here, this settings, create a new column. This time select a lookup column, and here put department. This time, yes, requires that this column contains information. Yes, so user must choose at least one department, and here choose the list called departments. As soon as you choose departments here, you can see that in this column you see all this department, all these columns in that list to actually reference that. So for now, let's just select the default one and then click OK. We can again come back and change it. So now we have a lookup column. So let's see how that works. So now when I go here, view item, you can see here department is empty. So I'm adding an item, and then you can see here I have in a new field I have a drop down here. So click HR, let's click sales and click save. So now you can see that I have a department and here sales, and this value is actually a link because it is a lookup. So when I click it, it actually goes to the departments record and shows me what is there. So let's say if I go to departments and add another column called department description or something. Full name of the department, and it is not required. So let's click OK. Single line of text. Okay, go to department. Let's modify this one. So edit item, and since it's HR, we can put human resources, and then again come back here, and I'm adding a new record this time, EID 002, Maggie King, email maggie.king@contoso.com, female, computer gaming, salary 55,000, and this time I'm selecting HR. Click save. Now you can see here, when I click it, you can see this dialog shows the HR record now to me. So let's say tomorrow if I want to add another department, so the only thing I need to do is go here and add another department. Let's say communications, and then as soon as I add this, if I go to employee table, and I can, let's say I add a new employee item, and then you can see here I have a communications record right here. So I don't need to even go into list settings and add that as a choice. So where you have like hobbies, if I want to add another hobby, I actually need to go to the list setting and then add as a new choice a hobby, right? So tomorrow I say gymnastics, and click OK. And then when you go to employees, you actually see that a new value here. So if you have more than 10 items, you can easily see that how the list goes here down there, right? So that's another thing. Now, one more feature I want to show you about the lookup column is that allow multiple selection. So let's go to list settings and then department. And I know that any employee will have only one department, but let's see how that works. So here I have called allow multiple values. As soon as I click this and click OK, you can see now if I edit this record, now you can see that, see, SharePoint totally displays you another type of look and feel for this particular field. And you can now add multiple departments here and click save. As soon as you do that, you can see here for this record I have now multiple departments here, and any one you click, it actually opens up that record because it's a lookup. Okay, another feature of lookup column is, let's say if I uncheck the allow multiple, but before that I need to fix one record. Okay, so I'm just taking it out, click save, and go back this settings. Now what happens when so I'm just resetting back this field, clicking OK, but you can see that I have another setting here at the end called relationship. So you can see that the employees and department list are two different lists, but I have actually joined them with this particular one column. Okay, so now tomorrow I want to enforce the relationship behavior. When I check this box and says restrict delete or cascade delete, what will happen is, by default it is a restrict delete. That means if I delete a department record from departments list, the related employees that actually are joined with that department will not be deleted. Okay, so tomorrow, let's say today I delete this sales department, then the employee, this Ross Taylor employee, is actually belongs to sales department. That record will not be deleted. But what if you want to do that? What if you want to delete all the employees when you delete the department? Then you go to that particular column and then enforce the relationship behavior called cascade delete, and you click OK. Now every time you delete the department, it will also delete all the employees that belong to this department. So let's do that. So I'm deleting the sales department, and you actually see it says so by default all your records will go to recycle bin, and it also says that related items in the following list will also be deleted. So if I click OK, and if I go to employee, you can see now Ross Tyler record is gone. And if I go to recycle bin, site settings, recycle bin, you can see that the sales department is deleted, and you can see here the type is relationship, so it actually shows you some icon, meaningful icon here. Also, what happens is that when you select this from recycle bin and click restore, it will also automatically restores all the deleted records from the dependent employee list. So let's see if that happens. So I just click restore. So you can see that the department is added now, added back, sales. And then once I go to employees, you can see that this record is also brought back. So another important feature of lookup column is you can also select what columns you want to bring in from the source list. So in this particular case, I can go to list settings and department. So here you can see that in employees list, I have only the department column available that's coming from the lookup list. But I can also choose, I can bring in more columns from department list to this particular employee list. So I go to list settings, department, and then this time I want to get department description as well and probably ID. So if I click this, go to employees, now you can see here I have the department description column here and as well as the ID. Now when I go to list settings and see here, the naming pattern, it says department colon and then department description and then department colon ID. That means this actually columns are actually added as a part of the lookup. So this is the way SharePoint actually brings in the lookup column and visually shows you what option you actually selected for that particular column. Okay. One thing I forgot to discuss about the number column type is to show the value of number as percentage. Let's see how that works. So here I have a states, and let's say I want to add another column here. A number column is GDP contribution and showing that as a number column, but this time I want to show this value as the percentage. So show this value as percentage and no decimal places and click OK. Now let's see what happens. So when I edit this record and let's say the percentages, now you can see here SharePoint automatically shows you the percent sign here. So let's say for this state actually contributes 15% of the overall GDP. So now I have 15%. So see how you can also use the number column as showing the different types of format. So if you want a raw number, you can see here the population column actually shows that, and you have the GDP contribution column, which is the same number column but showing all the values as percentage. Okay. So that's it for this video. Thanks for listening. Bye.